Good afternoon, everyone. Kate here, flying solo again with Fee, still on holidays in Europe. Want to jump on and talk pay rises a little bit this week. I have been in talking core confidence and feeling like I'm talking pay rises all week at the moment, but was in a professional services firm early this week doing a lunch and learn around both the Women at Work research we've done and also core confidence and the 10 building blocks of core confidence. And, you know, we kept coming back to pay rises, and what really struck me in the last sort of 7 days, I've worked with 2 clients to secure significant salary increases. When I say significant, the lowest one was $25,000. The other one was almost, it's significant. So more than that. I won't say how much or what, but just, it's really struck me. Both were career moves, so promotion, moving from a different role. So both have been out interviewing and negotiated and secured new roles. But what struck me was how many women, and we know this from the Women at Work research, are sitting in roles where they feel that they're undervalued and are not having the conversations around REM. And what does that look like in terms of the gender pay gap? The more, and both of these clients had tried internally to negotiate salary and gotten nowhere. So now they've had to leave to go and secure remuneration. But what really struck me was, you know, not so much what's that costing you financially. Obviously, there is a financial cost when we sit in a role and we're undervalued. But just, you know, what that feels like from a value exchange. Like, how does that feel when you're undervalued? Often it's unappreciated as well. I'm underappreciated. And it's not all about money. You know, it's actually interesting that I end up talking about money so much, because it's not, it's what the money means is really the message. It's the value, it's the recognition, it's the appreciation. Certainly that's when I'm coaching clients around negotiating salary in their current role, in their current organisation, or if they've been promoted into a new role. It's often not about the money, it's what the money means. It's around recognition of responsibility. And certainly my own story of negotiating salary in corporate was interesting. It was probably one of the hardest conversations I've had in my career. And it was so not about the money. It was about recognition. It was about recognition of responsibility. It was about fairness, you know, that I was going to be sitting on a leadership team and being held responsible at an equal, if not more significant level than my colleagues. And it was about, you know, that being appropriately reflected in how I was remunerated and recognised. So I think, you know, the key message I want to get through in today's live is just how important it is to go out and test market. I say to clients all the time, you know, just unless you're brand new to a role, you know, you should have your finger on the market, on what your value looks like in the market. I think it's a good thing because it stimulates possibility. It gets you excited about your career, and I think sometimes we always need that. But it's useful to know and to benchmark what your value is in the market. And I think that will often drive the conversation internally about REM. But, you know, if that's you, if you're sitting there and you feel that you are significantly undervalued in your organisation, and it's not just about money, you know, the exchange of an employee-employer relationship means that I go to work and I give time, I give creative thought as an employee. If I'm a leader, I give, you know, I care, I'm emotional, I look after my people, you know, lots of different things we give, and we get back in exchange, you know, obviously salary, but also learning opportunities, you know, social connection, you know, there's an exchange. So it is definitely more than money. If you feel, though, that exchange is out of balance, that you're giving more than you're getting, then I really want to encourage you guys to sit down and have a conversation. I think the most important thing is get really clear about what you're asking for or what you would need in order to feel like you're in good exchange. Again, a negotiation around remuneration isn't necessarily just about money. It can be around training opportunities, learning opportunities, relationships, conferences, all those sorts of things. So get creative, but get really clear about what you're asking for. Do the prep. I think REM conversations fall down because we don't do the work, we don't do the preparation, so that when we go in, we're really congruent with what we're asking for. So that's the most important thing. I will load underneath here, I'll give you the link to a PDF we have called 7 Things to Do Before You Ask for a Pay Rise. We are in June, so many of you, those conversations are coming up. But please, you know, if you're sitting there and you feel undervalued, please do something about it. You know, reach out to me personally. We talk about this all the time, but I think if we're going to start to close the gender pay gap, then let's start working with women to get clear about what your value is to yourself and to your organisation, and then to go out and have those tough conversations. They will be tough. You know, whenever we're negotiating reasonable salary increases, they are going to be tough, and they probably quite rightly should be, but we need to start having those conversations as well. So great to connect. I'm off. I'm probably going to go and talk for the next couple of weeks about pay rises, but please, you know, take a look. If that's you, take a look at the resource we'll load in here. Reach out if you need a hand, but let's start negotiating our value and start, you know, closing that gender pay gap. But most importantly, you know, valuing the contribution that we make to organisations. Thanks, guys.